Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Are you sleepy? Are you sleepy? Are you tired?
Great.
It's our last period for today.
Yeah.
Are you sleepy? No,
Oh,
we're not sleepy. Okay, so what's the weather like outside? Look outside. What?
sunny.
Outside. It's very, very hot outside. It's sunny. And there is no cloud. I can see only blue sky. I can see only blue sky. Okay, our subject for this moment is
Science.
science. Okay, science. We're going to sing a song first before we proceed to our lesson. What song do you want to sing? When we walk. Ready? When we walk, sing. When we walk to the left and we walk to the right and we walk. Everybody sing with teacher.
We walk and we walk.
And we walk all
We
day,
walk
here and there and halfway,
way
with
to
the
the
hill
hill
and the
and
two,
And
and you know
round.
from there,
I
Open
want
your
to
camera.
be
I want to
friends.
be your
your
friend.
friend, a little bit more. You want
I
to
want
be
to be
your
I want to be your
friend,
friend.
a lot more.
I
I
want
want
to
to
be
be
your friend
a
a little bit more.
little bit
A
more,
little
a
bit, a
little
little
bit,
bit,
a
a
little,
little bit, a
little
little
bit
bit.
more.
Again,
More.
one more time.
Okay.
When we walk to the
We
left
to
and
the left and
to
we
the
walk
right
to the
and
right. And
We
we
walk,
walk,
we
we
and we
walk,
walk.
walk
we
all
walk
day
all
with
day
the
with a
and
hill and a
the
two and a
halfway
half
run.
run. With a
We
hill and a two
To
and you
and you
from friend.
find. I
I
want to
want
be
Want
to
your
to
be
be your
friend
friend a
a
little
little
bit
bit
more.
more.
I
I
want to
want to be
be your
your friend
friend
a
a little
little
bit
bit
I want
more.
more.
to be your
I want to
I
friend.
be your
want to
friend
be
a
your
little
friend
bit
a
more.
little bit
A
more.
little bit,
A
a
little
little
bit,
bit,
a
a
little
little
bit, a
bit
little bit
more.
more.
Okay, thank you for singing with teacher. So let us proceed with our lesson in science. Can you open your camera? I want to see your faces. Tukona, open your camera so I can see your beautiful faces. Come on. Okay.
พี่โบมาแล้วไปเอาดิ
Now, before we're going to start, let us have some refreshment about forces. Okay. Watch this
มัน
video.
ส่งตา
Bring us in a race to find the reason or the place when we find like two outer space so that the truth of any case can be unfurled in the real
ร้อนอ่ะ
science in the real world. Hi, I'm Kirsten. Welcome to Real World Science. Every day, the world is shaped and changed by forces. Forces set the world in motion.
ฮะ
We get ready to move as we explore
อ๋อ
forces.
เหรอ คนสวยนะ
Intro to
กีตาร์ปิดไมค์
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit.
Ever wonder what causes things to move faster than a speeding train? Or slower than a tortoise? Or what makes things stay still and not move at all? The word is force. What is force? Simply stated, force is a push or a pull on an object that causes a change in its motion. Right at this very moment, force is at work all around you and me. Force makes it possible to sit in your chair without floating into space or falling into the earth. Forces are involved in just about everything that you do every single day. Push and pull. Every force is either a push or a pull. Pressing a button and throwing a baseball are all examples of a push. And plugging a wire and lifting objects are examples of a pull. These push and pull forces exist throughout the universe and help to shape and change our world. For example, the moon pulls on the oceans, causing low and high tides. A magnet pulls iron particles towards it, and a nuclear explosion pushes objects out with tremendous power. We'll talk more about that later. Balanced and unbalanced forces. When an object, such as a golf ball, is not moving, we say that the force is balanced. Gravity pulls it down towards the ground, and the ground pushes the ball back up. Balanced force is when two equal forces work in opposite directions of each other. The ball is kept in place by a balanced force. However, when a greater amount of force is exerted on the ball, say with a golf club, the forces are not equal. There's an imbalance. Unbalanced force is responsible for either a push or a pull. All forces are either balanced or unbalanced. Force makes it possible for these cheerleaders to make a pyramid. In order for the pyramid to keep its shape, the force must remain balanced. All of the people in the pyramid must exert equal amounts of force on each other. If the forces become out of balance, the pyramid will collapse and change shape until the force is balanced again. Forces shape our world. Forces give every object its shape. You can alter an object's shape by exerting force on that object. For instance, this clay. Force being applied changes the clay's shape. Here's another example of how force can change the shape of an object. The surface of this wood block has a rough and bumpy shape, but if a piece of sandpaper is rubbed against the wood, it will change the shape by making the surface smooth. Friction. Friction is the force that opposes movement between objects. How does it work? Notice that when you put the rough edges of the sandpaper against the rough edges of the board, they almost interlock. This causes the objects to resist movement when you try to rub them against one another. The friction caused by rubbing the two items together wears down the wood, and the surface becomes smooth. When two surfaces are touching, friction exists. Friction results because objects and surfaces are not perfectly smooth. When you apply the brakes to the wheel of a bicycle, friction causes the wheel to stop spinning. Friction causes moving objects to slow down and finally stop. Invisible forces. I mentioned earlier that force is at work all around us, all of the time, even though we can't always see it. Take gravity, for instance. Gravity is the force that causes a ball to fall towards the ground after it's thrown in the air. You can't see it, but gravity is there. Gravity is the force that attracts objects to each other as a result of their mass. Mass is the amount of matter that makes up an object. Gravity keeps you and me from floating into space like astronauts. It's also the force that keeps Earth and the other planets in that orbit around the sun. You're probably most familiar with gravity being a force that draws objects down toward the Earth. Gravity is what makes things fall to the ground. Another invisible force at work all around us is electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is the force produced by the interaction between electricity and magnets. Now, we have all played with magnets before, and I'm sure we have all seen experiments where a wire is wrapped around a metal object and then an electric current is passed through it. The result is an electromagnet. Electromagnetism is the force used to generate electricity, and it generates pictures on a television screen. Without it, you wouldn't be able to see this program. Gravity and electromagnetism are two of the fundamental forces of nature, and they are pretty strong forces too. But there is an even stronger force that exists in nature. It's found in the tiny building block that makes up every object in the universe, the atom. The strongest force in the universe exists inside the atom, keeping all of the smaller particles glued together. It's called nuclear force. The structure of an atom looks something like this. An atom is made up of very tiny particles and has a center called the nucleus. The nucleus holds positively charged protons and neutral neutrons. Surrounding the nucleus are negatively charged electrons. These particles attract or pull on each other and repel or push each other away, creating the structure of an atom. This force of attraction and repulsion between the particles inside the atom is nuclear force. And this amazing force is found everywhere in the universe. Laws of motion. Let's review some of the things we've learned so far. Force can be described as either a push or a pull on an object. Friction is the force created when two objects move against one another. And there are invisible forces at work all around us, like gravity, electromagnetism, and nuclear force. So how do we know all these things about forces? Well, scientists unlocked the mysteries of force so that we could understand how they work and how we can use forces to our advantage. One scientist who did important work with forces was Sir Isaac Newton. It is said that in 1687, Newton came up with his theory of gravity when he saw an apple fall off of a tree. Newton also came up with 3 laws of motion regarding force in the world around us. Newton's first law of motion states the following: an object at rest will remain at rest, and an object in motion at a constant speed will remain in motion at a constant speed until some outside force is applied to it. Let's take a look at a real-world example of that law. Right now, this bowling ball is at rest, not moving because the forces acting upon it are balanced. The ball will stay at rest until the bowler pushes the ball down the lane, creating an imbalance in the forces. Now, if no other force acts upon the ball, it will keep on rolling forever. Luckily, the friction between the floor and the ball, the force of the pins, and the wall at the end of the lane will help make sure that doesn't happen. Newton's first law is also known as the law of inertia. Inertia is the property of matter that causes an object to resist a change in motion. So what determines an object's inertia? It is the object's mass, which is the amount of matter in...
Okay, let's stop in there. So let's have our presentation. Okay, so read what do you see on the screen? What are forces? Okay, so forces. We already discussed last week about force, right? And we also already discussed about friction. ใช่ไหม? Friction and forces are everywhere. Whatever we do, whatever we go, forces and friction is always there. Am I right? Even if you are just sitting on your chair, there is a force. ใช่ไหม? When you are walking, there is also a force. Okay. Also, friction is there. ใช่ไหม? When you walk, there is a friction between your shoes and the surface or the ground. Okay. So let's have a review about forces and friction. Okay, let us read. ทุกคนนะอ่านเลย What forces?
What forces do action on you now while you sitting in your seat?
Okay, what forces do you think are acting on you right now while you are sitting on your chair or on your seat? What do you think is the force that we are experiencing right now while we are sitting on the chair? What do you think? We're not moving, right? We're not moving. We're just sitting on the chair. So what do you think it's kind of force that we have right now? It's gravitational force, right? Because we're just sitting, we're not floating. Because if there is no gravity, what will happen to us? Things will go anywhere. ใช่ไหม? Like we go on the outer space, there is no gravity in there. So everything in the outer space will float. So here on Earth, we have gravity or gravitational force. Okay. There are forces acting on you all the time, whether you know it or not. Okay. Who wants to read the first sentence? I will give 2 points again. Who is that? Okay. First and cartoon raise their hand. Okay, first, read the first sentence.
Gravity is pulling you down.
Okay, gravity is pulling you down. Okay, everything on Earth will fall down. Okay, example, when you can see a mango tree. When the mango tree or when the mango is ripe already, what will happen? What will happen to the mango if it is ripe already? It will fall down on the ground. ใช่ไหม? Okay, example. When you are sleeping and then while you are sleeping, you move and then you fall down on the floor. You're not fall down, you will not go on the, what do you call, on the ceiling. You will fall down on the floor because there is a, what? There is a gravity. Everyone, say gravity.
Gravity.
Okay. Now the second one, who wants to read? 2 points for first. Okay, cartoon. Read.
The crowd is pushing you up.
Okay, so there is a balance between forces, between things. So while we are sitting, the ground also pushes up. Okay? So the ground is pushing you up. Okay, 2 points for cartoon. Next. Who wants to read for number 3? Number 3. Who wants to read? For the third sentence. Okay, I will call a name. Prewa is there already? Prewa, number 17 or number 18?
18.
Okay,
Yes.
18. Prewa, are you there, Prewa? 2 points na. Song kanen if you're going to read. Okay, let's have another volunteer. Who wants to get 2 points? I will call a number again. Number 23. Number 23. Guitar. Where is guitar? Don't you worry. Teacher will teach you how to read the difficult words. Okay, number 23. Air is squeezing you. Okay, let's have another one. Number 32. 32. It's Nui.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you read Nui? Air
Is
squeezing,
again, teacher.
squeezing.
Squeezing
Okay. You
you from
every
every
direction.
direction.
Okay, squeezing. Pewa alay. Who knows what is squeezing? It's like squeezing a lemon. Squeezing, pewa. Squeezing. We everybody say squeezing.
Squeezing.
We everybody say squeezing.
Squeezing.
B.
Squeezing.
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 Okay, squeezing. So air is squeezing you from every direction. We know that air is everywhere. Shemai, we cannot see air, but air is very important. So air is everywhere. So it squeezes us from the left, from the right, in front, or at the back because air is everywhere. Okay, so 2 points for Noy. Bye. Okay, number 5. Jakapong wants to read, I think.
Your body is pushing back at the air.
Very good. Okay, 2 points for Mike. Your body is pushing back at the air. Okay, so air also helps us to balance our body. Okay, next. When forces are balanced, They cancel out and you don't notice them. But when forces don't balance, things happen. Okay, think what would happen if you took the force of gravity away. Okay, let's watch some or let's see some example of balance and unbalanced force. Okay, let us read first. A force.
Force
A
is
force is
pull.
of
Pull.
a pull.
Okay, forces
Forces can
Can
cause
cause
an
an
object to
object to
move,
move,
change
change
speed, change direction,
direction,
change
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 shape,
or
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 stop.
okay, forces have size.
Forces have
forces have
size
size
and
and
direction.
Okay, so when we say forces, forces can cause an object to move, right? Can change speed, can change direction, can change the shape or stop. So example, forces can cause an object to move. So example, if you have a box on the table and if you push it, it will move. Okay. Another, change speed. If you ride on a bicycle, so if you drive a bicycle, the speed of the bicycle will what? Will change. You can make it faster, you can make it slower. Slow, fast, slow, fast. It's up to you. Change in direction from left to right, from right to left. ใช่ไหม? Can also change the shape. Example, what things can we change the shape? Can you give an example? What things can we change the shape? Like clay. Do you play clay or slime? Do you play clay or slime?
รู้จักไหม คืออะไรเอ่ย clay
Clay.
ดินเหนียวสลาม
Slime,
อ๋อเหรอ
ใช่ slime. So you can make any shape you want, ใช่ไหม? Like when you push by your fingers using your hands, you push, you can make a circle, you can make a square, you can make star. So you use force to change the shape. Okay, example also, or stop. Stop. So example, when you are playing volleyball. Can you still remember our lesson in volleyball?
yes
Okay, by blocking the ball on the air, you can stop the ball from what? You can stop the ball. ใช่ไหม? You use force. Okay, look at this picture. Push แปลว่าอะไร? Push แปลว่า what is push? ไม่ใจ
ผลัก
Okay. Pull.
ดึง
Okay, push and pull. Okay, example, when you drop your pencil, gravity is pulling into the ground. When you are walking around, your feet are pushing down onto the ground. Okay, measured in newtons. Always act in pair. So cannot be seen, but the effect can be seen. Measured using, what do we use when we measure force? We use spring scale or spring balance. ใช่ไหม? This one. อันนี้อะไร? What do you call for this? Spring
spring balance
ใช่ bring balance. Okay. Now look at this one. Let us read first. If two forces
If two forces acting on an object are in the same direction, you add the forces together.
Okay, so what will happen if the thing will be moved to the same direction? You're going to add,
Add.
pewa.
Bua.
Okay, so here the person is pushing, the box has 50 newtons, and the person pulling the box exerts 75 newtons. So you're going to add 50 plus 75 equals
125.
okay, the net force will be 125 going to the left, going to the right,
Going to the right.
going to the right. Okay, going to the right. 125 newtons. Next, okay, read. If two forces
If two forces acting on object on an object are in the opposite direction, you subtract the forces.
okay, so if the object or if the force is acting on the opposite direction, you subtract. Subtract by walay?
Lốp.
Okay, so 500 newtons going to the left and 100 newtons going to the right. Subtract 500 minus 100. Talay.
400.
400 newtons. The net force is 400 newtons.
Left.
Going to the left. Okay. Okay, let us read. Anloy. Balance.
Balance forces.
Forces
Forces that
can
go
each
in
other
out.
now
Net force equals zero.
zero. There
There is not
is no
no change in motion.
motion.
Okay, so balance force. When we say balance force, the net force of it will be 0. Let's see. Okay. Balancing your science textbook on your desk. Example, this is your science book. You put on the table or on the desk. It's not moving, right? It's not moving. It is balance. The force that pushes the book from the ground and then the force from the top is balance. So meaning there is 0 Newton for this one. 0 Newton because it is balance. It's not moving. Okay, also this. Now, let's say this is balance force. If two people on the left side has exert 100 newtons and also on the right side they exert 100 newtons, meaning what will happen? What is the net force? If they exert
Zero.
the same, if they exert the same force, it will become
Zero.
okay, the net force is 0 because it is balance. Balance, pero alay, what is balance in Thai? Do you know what is balance?
Balance.
Balance.
Oh, same, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just the same, balance. Okay, how about unbalanced forces? Okay, let us read. When forces
When forces acting on an
Acting on
object
an
do not
object do not
cancel
cancel
out,
out. Net
that force does
does
not
not
equal
equal
zero.
zero. Hold out
Put,
a
put
chain in motion.
in motion.
produce a change in motion.
Produce
Produce
a change
a
in
chain
motion.
in motion.
Okay, so when we say unbalanced force, meaning that thing will move. Okay, because they are not balanced. Okay, example. Do you know them? It's in,
Yes.
who is this?
Hack.
The hack.
The hack.
This one.
Thor.
Thor.
Or
Thor.
this
Thor.
one.
Thor. Uh, Cap-
Captain.
Captain
Captain
America.
America. Captain
Captain
America.
America. And this
Iron
one.
Man.
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man.
So you can see this on this picture. I think there it's not balanced because on the left side there are three people and on right side there is only one person. So it is not balanced. Okay? It is not balanced. Unbalanced. Question. There is already an answer. Okay, what is the unit used for measuring force? What is the unit used for measuring a force? We called it
Newton.
newtons or capital letter
N.
N. Okay, number 2 question. What tool is used to measure forces? Spring,
Spring.
scale.
Skull.
Everybody say scale.
Scale.
Okay,
Scale.
scale or spring balance. Okay, find the net force. Now, we're going to do an activity. You're going to do this one and identify if it is balanced or unbalanced. Okay. 950 Newton and 625 Newton. Okay. What are you going to do with this? Plus or minus? Add or subtract?
Minus. Subtract.
Tamay. Tamay. Why?
The force balance.
Because the forces what? Goes in different
Goes different side.
direction or
Direction.
opposite direction. Okay. Minus 950 minus 625. Alright. 950 minus
325.
625 equals
325.
okay, 325 going to the right or
Left.
left?
Left.
Going to the left. Chai. Okay, so 325 newtons going to the left. This is unbalanced.
Unbalanced.
Meaning the direction, Chai. The direction will go to the left. 325 newtons. How about this? The man is pushing the wall. The man is pushing 600 newtons and the force of the wall has 600 newtons, what will happen?
Stop.
Well,
Stop.
okay, so it will stop. So what do you call for this? Balance or unbalanced force?
Balance force.
Balance.
Very good. It is balance force. Because 600 minus 600 equals
0.
0.
0 Newton. Okay, very good. Okay. How about this? The dog going to the left exert 525 newtons and the man has only 50 newtons. Okay, what are you going to do with this? Add or subtract?
Subtract.
Subtract.
Okay, subtract 525 minus 50. Ito lang. 525 minus 50 equals.
475.
475.
475.
Very good. It's 475 net force or Newton. Going to the
Left.
Left.
left. Balance or unbalance?
Unbalance.
Unbalance.
Balance. Okay. Forces that act against motion. If you kick a soccer ball on the grass, what will start to slow it down? Can you guess? Can you guess what kind of force that the ball caused to stop? I have a question. Who can answer this? I will give 5 points. I will give 5 points to those who can answer. Forces that act against motion. What kind of force is that? Can you still remember? Students.
I'm not sure.
Forces that act against motion. Is a lie.
I will try, teacher.
Try. Okay, try. Is
Wait. I'm fine, silent notebook.
okay. I will give you time to think. I will give you time to think. Forces that act against motion is
I'm not sure. Gravitational force.
are you sure?
I'm not sure, teacher.
We're you know what? We're moving to another lesson. Okay? I mean not other lesson but other subtopic. We already tackled this last week. Many times. Forces that act against motion.
I don't know.
Come on! Hakanen! 5 points. Faster! If you kick a soccer ball on the grass, what will start to slow it down? It's very simple. It starts with letter
Friction.
F. Alina?
Friction.
Very good. Friction. Okay, 5 points for cartoon. Okay? Forces that act against motion is friction. Okay, friction. Simay, can you still remember the friction?
Yes.
5 points for cartoon. Okay. Force that occurs. Everybody read.
Force that
Force that
occurs when two objects
into object
Rob.
rub
rub
Again.
against each other.
Always act.
Always act in the direction opposite
opposite
to the
to
direction
the
of
direction
motion.
of motion.
John. Next.
Will
Will
slow
slow
the
to
motion
the
of
motion
an
of an
object
object or
or
something.
stop it.
Create.
Create it.
Okay, creates heat. So we already tackled friction last week.
If you don't tell learn last week, I don't know.
Okay. So we already know what is friction, Saimai. This one is a shoes, the bottom of the shoes, the spikes of the shoes. So this one is very important because it creates friction between the floor. It makes us safety. Saimai, because if there is no friction, it can cause accident. Okay, friction has advantage and disadvantage. Okay, look at this picture. So there is snow, ice. So they put something on the tire so the car can move. Okay, so we have here 4 types of friction. Let us read.
Static friction.
The static friction,
Sliding,
Sliding friction.
sliding friction,
Rolling
rolling
friction. Fluid
fluid
friction.
friction.
Okay. So let's stop in there. Okay, let's ask teacher to if she has some announcement. Teacher 2, do you have any announcement?